Close that one. Okay, we're live. Let's go to that Paul Murray guy because we won't be there yet. No, didn't think so. Didn't hooked up yet. Oh, there's the garbage truck. I got up early this morning. Make sure I had quite a few.
Oh, today your trash day?
Yeah, yeah. They're just out there right now. I had garbage to put out. I had 2 recycle bins plus bag of garbage plus container full of garbage. So I got more like, but they only take so much, right?
Oh, you're limited to what you here.
Yeah.
If you get it to the curb, they'll a compactor will sit there and just pack it.
Nope, not here. You limited 2 bags. That's it, or 2 containers. So,
Here, you can have more than 2 containers, but you have to pay more on your property
yeah, you
taxes.
gotta put tags on them, man.
What's up, David?
Morning, AZ.
Well, here you're given, so your standard allotment is 1 trash can, 1 recycle bin. But you can order more than 1 or 2 of them.
Now, do
But
you pay directly to the trash company or what?
No, it's paid by your property taxes.
Yeah, that's what mine is.
Yeah.
Let's see, I got 2 containers, one in cans and glass and the other one cardboard, like, from, cardboard boxes, whatever, or cereal boxes or. I'm not see, so I got actually 4 items out there, but they're not very big recycle containers. That's every other week. The opposite week to that, we have what they call green bins. So, grass clippings or whatever, tree branches.
All right. Yeah. All right. Okay.
Yeah, see, I called the trash company when we were living in the old house because for some reason we had one of the small, tiny trash bins. Everybody else had these big, large ones. So I called them up. I said, well, can we get a second bin? They were like, well, you're going to have to pay more in the property taxes if we deliver a second one. I said, well, can you at least come replace the one that's here? I said, everybody else on my block has these huge, large trash cans and we got a little tiny one. I said, it's like half the size of everybody else's. I don't understand why we have such a small one. And they were like, oh, those were the older ones that should have been replaced. And they ended up coming out and changing it out. But yeah, they wanted to, if I would have ordered another trash can, then the owner of the house would have ended up getting a bigger property tax bill. So I told him, no, I'm not doing that.
But if garbage can don't have physical handles on it, they won't touch it either. Because I bought a garbage can that just kind of molded into the habit. They won't accept that. Got to have an actual handle on it so they can grab it.
Oh, they won't touch ours either unless they're the actual mandated trash cans. They will for mulch clippings and stuff, but like you can't stick your own trash can out there with trash in it for recycling. They won't even touch it. They'll just drive right by it.
Place it here, isn't that Dan? No.
No,
Oh, okay.
it's not Dan. Place it here, trash can envy. It is, it was. I mean, when you got a family of 5 living in a house, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were filling it up to the point where we were having 3-4 bags on the ground next to the trash can every week. And once we got the bigger trash can, we didn't have that problem anymore. Yeah, that's Ken, not Dan. Yeah, trash can envy's real. But that's why I told Paul, that's why I go out every week or so. I go outside and I go on the back porch. I start up that lawnmower we have since we don't use it. I start it up and run it for at least 10 minutes.
But Paul didn't take the bad gas out of it. It's in the carburetor. If you're gonna store it for a long time, run that freaking thing dry.
Well, you either that or you just run it every couple weeks to go out there and let it run and keep putting fresh gas in it over time. That's what I do is like after about 2-3 months, I'll go out there and refill it back up because I'll let it sit there and run and run and run. Cause I don't want it to sit there and just, seize up from sitting on the back porch forever.
I really don't have the money to take it out and get it fixed, but you know,
Well,
I don't know
shit's-
if, I don't know. I can't get down there and mess with it, you know what I mean? And everything on that mower is sealed up. The top, I couldn't get the top plate off it because it was screwed down and had been screwed so long and
How much is, did you get your zero turn working?
no. Zero turn's not working yet either. So I got to do something. I either got to get the little one running, which it just kills me to do that because I have to walk around and I can't walk that well.
Oh, you might be getting to the point, Paul, and not to sound mean, but maybe you're not able, just, maybe you shouldn't be cutting the lawn no more.
Well, there's that about it too.
I
But
mean,
you
I hate
know,
to, I hate to say it, but you know,
We live in a society where the kids don't want to mow lawns. I had one neighborhood kid do it, but it, you know, he kind of hemmed and hawed, yeah, all right, whatever, you know, and I paid him $20.
I mean, $20 ain't bad if it's not a big lawn. If you can do it within like 30 minutes.
Oh yeah, he did it in like 20. But
Have you looked into seeing how much it would cost? To
have a
an
lawn
actual-
service,
Yeah, come out and do it for you.
I don't want, you just want a kid come in and do it.
yeah, you just want a kid to do it because a lawn service is gonna
Well, I mean,
charge
if you can find a reliable kid.
$150 a month, you know?
Well, like I said, unless you can find a reliable kid that's willing to do it. How often do you have to cut your grass? Once a week or?
Yeah, once a week.
Well, not in the winter, but of course.
But it is what it is, you know, I can't change destiny.
You know, there are certain lawn services that actually some of them do it around here. If you end up going that route, there are ones that actually have, like, senior rates and stuff or stuff like that, where you can get stuff cut cheaper. Like around here, some of the lawn services actually offer that, and then they actually have like, some of the big companies actually have income-based plans too. So if you're somebody that can't really afford the full plan, they actually have like a budget plan for people.
And says, I never home. I have to pay everyone to take care of my house.
Oh, I knew people that were full-time truckers and they had a 3-bedroom house and they were only there for like 2-3 weeks out of the year. That they were paying for a damn house.
I lived at my sister's for a couple of years because I just needed a place to hang my hat for my mail. I was on the road all the time. Like, you
Right.
know, why would you pay for an apartment or a house or whatever? And you're never there. That don't make sense.
I mean, I could kind of see if you, like, say you were over the road trucker and you were making a lot of money and you could afford to pay for a house, I could see that for when retirement rolls around, you have it, you know? Maybe you could have it paid off by then, but other than that, I don't see that. I definitely wouldn't run in an apartment if I was on the road.
Yeah,
Ken said he lives in an RV all year round, but he owns his own house. Yeah. But the problem is, if you're not home, you know, you could have, you know, whatever, a fire or a freaking water leak, whatever, right?
well, that's what happened, remember to Ron?
Yeah.
He's never home and he had to have his whole
Kitchen
kitchen redone, wasn't it?
Yeah,
And
he
a
had a water
water
pump. And he had the damn freezer go out in his garage when he wasn't there neither. Ruined all his meat.
Yep.
Yep.
Ruined all that elk and bear meat, I think it was.
Yeah.
I
the
think it happened,
bear,
didn't it?
bear meat was like almost 100 pounds, I think, of bear meat.
Yeah, I think it happened to him twice, if I remember correctly. And then he
Yeah.
had to have the guy come in and rewire his whole garage.
Yep,
We got Victorian aerial vision in here.
yep.
What's up, Brett?
Yeah, if you're not home unless you have somebody checking your house every day, so much could happen. I mean, you could have an electrical short and power go out and you didn't know it, and your freezer's warming up, and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But even with technology nowadays, you can even get water sensors that know if you got a water leak.
I mean, that is true, Ken. At least these days you can have your house pretty wired up to where you can at least monitor it when you're not home. That's the one good thing about today. Cause like what was funny was Ron, when he got asked whether that tornado went through his neighborhood, and never dawned on Ron to go look on his security camera. So he called somebody up and had him drive all the way to his house to check on his house. I was like, why didn't you just go on your security camera? He's like, oh shit, I didn't even think about that. I was like, yeah, as long as your camera wasn't sitting in the middle of a field, you were good. uh,
Yeah, that's
But
what
that-
I'll do is I got my security cameras all over the house, and I pull them up, and I can pull them up from anywhere.
right. And if it was a case of Ron tried to pull it up and he wasn't getting a signal and his camera wasn't coming up, then I would have seen the point of calling somebody. But it was funny though, because I pointed that out to him. I was like, you didn't pull up your security camera? And he goes, oh shit, I didn't even think about that.
If he's got hot, he's got hydro if the camera works, and you can see,
Right.
all the other shit. So.
Right, exactly, Ken. You'll know exactly if it's not working. That's when you have somebody go check your house. If the Wi-Fi is not working, you can't access nothing. That's when you call somebody and have them come check it.
Chilly out there today, Paul. When I woke up this morning, it was 54 degrees.
Great. I gotta go into the trailer tonight. Maybe I should take some propane. Eh,
Yeah, they say it's going to be a cold night tonight, but it's supposed to start warming up Sunday, they said.
I wish it was cold here. Fuck. It's been a little cooler the last couple days, but not much cooler. Been about 10 degrees cooler.
Holy crap, going down to 51 degrees tonight. 57.
Oh shit, there's a big ass storm coming in later too.
We're supposed to be nice all weekend.
Oh, look at this. This is right now. But watch this damn thing build up. Hold on, let me just press play. That's where I'm at right there. That's gonna come right over top of us. Yep, looks like that hurricane's gonna hit Baja California as a category 1. Or will start hitting the coast as a 2. But once it actually makes landfall, it should be a 1. And then what's good is Southern California will get the tropical storm, so they'll get some much needed rain. Just hope they don't have no problems with flash flooding or anything. That'll be good. That'll come up right through San Diego, up Los Angeles, right through Vegas. It's gonna go cut right through the middle of Nevada. Southern California and Nevada should get some much needed rain. I was watching some videos today on Hawaii.
Yeah.
It was crazy, man. Some of the people were jumping in the damn ocean because they got to the edge of the island and they couldn't go anywhere else. So we're literally having to walk out into the water and sit in the water because
Well, because where it was, they come from all sides and just kind of force them right into the ocean.
I watched a couple that was taking video while they were driving, trying to get out of their neighborhood, and they got to a point where they got to the edge of the ocean, had to get out of their car and walk into the water and sit in the water, kind of just hang out on the beach, because that was the only safe haven.
Hey, good morning, Mr. JRC.
What's up, John? Yeah, that's some wild shit, though.
He's a bunch of conspiracy theories, some energy,
Oh.
weapon, and oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, and then I watched a video today. A guy was going through all the conspiracy videos and debunking them. So there was a couple of them where they were showing power lines catching on fire and saying that's what started it. But then he was showing the comparison videos, and they were videos from another country from like 2 years ago. So people were taking old videos and then trying to say that that's what started the fires, but they really don't know what started it. They're just guessing at this point. And then there was the one that of the fireworks going off too, and that was just a firework display.
Hey,
from-
look who's here.
What's up, Brian? We were just talking about you.
Yeah, everyone was asking about you yesterday.
Yeah, how you guys doing?
Good. How'd the first week go?
Intense. A lot of information to take in, and overall pretty good. I think it's going to be a good place to work. Probably the toughest part's going to be the protocols. 384 pages I got to learn. Sweet Jesus.
Now, do you have to go on like a week's worth of like ride-alongs with somebody from the company to make sure you're doing procedures correctly and all that?
Yeah, I gotta this week was all classroom. And then next week's classroom. And then the week after that, I start as a third rider.
Uh-huh.
And depending on each individual is different. They said depending on how you do, you'll do third rider, and then you'll go as a second rider, but only with a training officer. And then depending on how you do, it's like, so it's all individual. But today, like I only got 36 hours this week. They want you to have 40. So getting ready. I'll go away. I'm getting ready to.
The herd's there.
Yes, I'm being stared at. I'm gonna ride the motorcycle over, and I can just go. There's a whole bunch of education. You know, the hospital Kool-Aid that you got to drink, the safety, the OSHA stuff, and they're pretty strict on that. So you got to get it done within
In your
days.
position with your experience, this got to seem a little bit redundant, doesn't it?
Yeah, every
Well-
employee has to do it.
Well, I'm thinking the only thing honestly that he would have to learn that he wouldn't know would be probably their paperwork layout, right?
Oh God, that is the paperwork, the apps. Oh.
Oh,
was-
they're one of the companies that put everything in apps now.
Mhm.
I'm assuming you're using iPads.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But the nice thing, I can't wait to tell my old partner this. That he's like the charting Nazi. When we write out our patient care reports, you know, the call that we're on, we can do it by dictation. We talk into them almost like talk to text,
Yeah.
and it types it out for you. It's like, oh, that's sweet.
Well,
Mm.
yeah, because that's the way all the fire departments and the ambulances do it around here. Like when they get out and they're getting your information and filling out their report, they do it all on iPads now.
Yeah.
There will be one person with an iPad and they'll be putting all the info in and while the other, medics and firefighters are doing their thing.
Well, what do you think of fellow employees to this point?
Everybody seems real nice. They run a strict operation. They told us first couple of days, these are the things you can get in trouble for. One of them's being tardy. You're allowed like 5 times in a year. You can get fired if you work in the hospital. The hospital is about a block from the station. You son of a bitch. Go ahead.
I see something flying around you.
B.
Don't smack it.
You did.
Might not be dead, but he felt that. So,
What's up, Al?
3 parking there's only certain places in the parking garage you're allowed to park. 3 violations. Bye.
Jesus. Well, I
Yeah.
guess they need to run a tight ship, though, I guess, right?
Mhm.
It's an important job.
Um,
Well, what in your case, with all the snowstorms you get out there,
Another point. Glad you brought that up. It is an expectation. Let's say today's Friday, and there's going to be a storm on Saturday. You're expected to kind of inch your way over there on Friday. So Saturday, there's no excuse. I can't get in because of weather.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, do they have accommodations if you have to go in a day early? Like, do they have a place for you to sleep and stuff?
Not really. I got to talk to them about that. Go away.
I mean, that only makes sense if they're going to tell you. I mean, I understand that too. If they say, look, we're going to have a crazy storm tomorrow, or need you to come in a day early just to sit and wait for your shift to start. That's when they should be giving you either that or at least offer you the overtime.
Yeah. There's some protocol differences, medication differences that I'm not, I've never given antibiotics, in the field. We have a protocol that say you got a fracture. It's an open fracture. There's bleeding, bone exposed, automatically in the field, amongst other things that I would do to treat that. But antibiotics, we have an antibiotic called Ancef. Never given it. It's in our protocols. They said if we do any transfers, like we do some long distance transfers, we can go down to Denver. And they said you get down there, you get the call in the middle of your shift. It's night shift. You're just flat out busted tired. You call and say, we need to get a hotel. We're done. Neither one of us can drive home. You get a hotel, you sleep 6, 7, 8 hours, you come home, and they pay for everything. Well, so that's good.
sounds to me like they're going to put you under the microscope all the time.
Everybody is. Yeah.
Well, there's got to be for a job like that, and this is just my opinion, there's got to be a strict code of conduct, but that can't sacrifice the safety of the workers.
Mhm.
So like Ron's saying, they can't say, you got to drive the 8 hours back. I don't care how tired you are. We have a schedule to stick to. That's where they need to.
I
You
know
know?
one company in Sioux Falls that does that. One friend of mine I used to talk to all the time used to tell me that. Yeah, they didn't care. Get your ass back here. Get that ambulance back here. We got more work to do.
But see, that's where your company that you're with now, that's a good thing because they have to understand at some point that, okay, this is now a safety issue.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as they're sticking to that as well, then it's a good balance of,
Yeah. And then like Tuesday morning, and I talk to the supervisor and I say, do you want me to do this on my own time or, can I do it on a work day? He goes, Ron, you got to drive 40 minutes. Go ahead and do it on a day you're here. I'm going to go meet with HR lady on Tuesday. There's a special lady in there that is just for benefits. And she will sit down with you one-on-one and go over your benefits, help you pick them out, explain them to you, talk about your retirement and your 403B, you know, she'll help you do all the steps. I'm not very good at that stuff. So that's kind of cool. Turns out our medical director didn't realize, I didn't recognize her at first. And when I introduced myself, she goes, Ron, she goes, my God, you've been to my house. I'm like, excuse me? Really good looking woman too. Buddy of mine I used to work with in Rapid City, Andy and I used to hang out all the time. And then when Andy had his first baby, the Ron Andy time stopped. Understandable. But, and then they moved to South Carolina. And last I heard, well, they're back. And she's working in Gillette as ER physician, the wife. So that's kind of cool. But she recognized me and remembered my name. So
She wasn't one of the babes in the picture of all the girls in bikinis out in front.
The front of that boat.
Yeah.
oh, she could be. Yeah. But no, overall everything's, I mean, I'm still
JDS?
very intimidated, and I'm oh, stupid me, I signed up for a shift up in Dickinson tomorrow. So it's time and a half. It's good money. I think it's time and a half plus 10. So yeah, $10 an hour. So it'll be a very financially worthy. I'm gonna
Time
go
and
up
a half
tomorrow.
plus an additional, a time and a half plus an additional $10 an hour?
Yeah.
Holy crap, that's like going to the bank, man.
Yeah. So
Why don't they just
We
call it
get to the,
time and a 3/4?
yeah. So so yesterday I did a degress day. I went out with Ralph, the outfitter, and helped him and his son-in-law and another guy. We set up tree stands and got ready for hunting season. So I was out till 3-4 o'clock. And then I come down to Dawn's, and I don't want him running that tractor anymore. So I mowed that was 3 hours last night mowing his grass. I mean, it's sitting my ass on that 0 turn, but I would have rather come home and rested. I left the house here at 4 yesterday morning. But
Well, how are you enjoying the short trip to work?
shit. You know, I work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and what?
Feed me.
They see me out here and hear me talking, and then they're standing there staring at me. Yeah, I think 37 minutes I was home the other night. I
Wow.
count. Yeah.
Oh, heard the rattle.
You heard the rattle.
Yeah. It's like
Are
you
they
dick.
still coming up on the deck?
I've got the deck. Well, I just unblocked it this morning. I've kept it blocked off for the last several days till this paint dried. Deck looks really good. I like the color and come out real nice. So I kept them off of it. One mama brought her fawns here this morning too. Little
Really?
guys. Yeah, they still kind of have their spots. I think they're still out back. But I got the 2 teenagers here this morning. Ones that they only got horns about this big. All right. Jesus. Guys are a pain in the ass.
Hey, Paul, take a quick look at this. See what they're pushing here in
Oh,
Canada?
the annual float down. Yeah.
Want people not to go to it.
Yeah.
What's the reason?
Well, because the cold water, people having heart attacks and you know.
Well,
No-
I mean, you can
No
go
life
in,
benefits, you know,
you can go in rafts that don't actually bring
Well,
you water into them.
The reason that I think it is, it's all economics. They have to put on so many extra boats out there, personnel out there, keep people safe on the water. and they closed down the river, so there's no river traffic. In other words, like if you had a boat, you can't go in that area. And so there's police, Coast Guard, everybody out there.
Oh, well, I doubt anybody's gonna listen to that anyway.
I
Oh,
know.
they're out there with the lights and everything going, man. They pull you over, they write you a big ass ticket.
No, I'm saying I doubt anybody's gonna listen to that article. There's still gonna be people going to
Oh,
that.
yeah.
What's going on up there, Paul?
Float
the-
down, annual float down. They
Yeah.
closed the St. Clair River from out just north in the lake and all the way down to St. Clair. And anything that'll float, you want to float on it, you just get in there and they big groups, big parties, and they just float down the river.
Well, that's cool. So they don't want any boats on there.
Yeah,
Well,
What
they
about-
closed it from noon
Cargo
to
ships.
7 PM or something.
noon to what? 5, isn't it?
7.
7 p.m.
What about the
And
cargo ship?
anything that floats, those great big floaties you see people put in their pools that like swans and whatever. There'll be 6, 8, 10 people on those things floating down.
What about
Hey.
the cargo ships, Paul?
The what?
The big ships?
No, they
No.
can't. They're banned.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just get something like this where the water doesn't actually come into it.
Yep. That's what they're floating on.
Hmm.
You can even get one of those.
See the swan up there, the $69 one
Yeah,
right there. See them swans. That's
Does
very
she come?
prevalent.
not for $33, Ron.
Yeah, you're probably right on
You
that.
don't want one that's that cheap an hour anyway.
No.
And they all group together and
Look at this water tank. It's a tank and it's got
Yep.
a water cannon.
shoots water out of it.
Oh, that's cool.
That's what I'm saying. You could get a huge raft. Like, something like that. If the water's too cold, you could still enjoy it going down something like that.
Yep.
Because you wouldn't be getting soaked with water.
Well, the water temperature here right now, I think, is 74 degrees, 72.
Oh, that ain't that cold. That's the type of water that's a little chilly to jump into, but once you're in it for like 20 minutes, you're fine.
Yeah. Well, guys, I just wanted to pop in and say hi. I'm
Oh,
gonna-
Ron, good to see you, my friend, because we've had several every day. Anybody hear from Ron? Anybody hear from Ron? Anybody hear
Yeah.
from Ron?
I was, from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. I was nonstop for 3-4 days in a row.
Now, how you got to go back to to the new job when?
I'm going back this morning. That's the nice thing that we're able to do. They want you to have a minimum of 40 hours. So what I'm going to do this morning, and just kind of show initiative too, is we're allowed to go in, and if we want to go in and sit at the computer and do education, and then I want to take, and I haven't really been in the ambulances yet. I want to take at least a good hour today and just tear that ambulance apart. Know where every nook and cranny is.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm gonna do today. And probably one of the hardest things is there's so many supervisors and everybody's got a role, and you got to make sure you go to the right person with the right problem. Don't go to this supervisor with this issue. Like, nope, you need to go to him. And some companies are, I don't know about them yet, but you got to be careful about jumping chain of command. In other words, going to an issue with someone when you should have went to this person below them. And
Right,
yeah,
you're supposed to move your way up and not
mhm,
overstep people.
right.
Yeah, a lot of companies are super strict about that.
Now,
Yeah.
do you normally have a regular work schedule, or is it just?
Looks like they started putting me on a regular schedule around the beginning of September. It's gonna, like I said, this job's gonna put a little damper on my guiding. I've already missed out on a couple hunts in September, but I do have the very first 4 days of September off. And I'll be able to guide the first first bunch of hunters, Ralph's getting in on September 1. Actually,
So
August 3rd.
Does it look like your schedule is like so many days on and so many days off in
Yeah,
September?
1 on, 1 off, 1 on, 5 off.
Oh, okay.
But it's my 5 off has got to kind of correlate with, you know, the schedule that Ralph has. So
Now,
I-
do you have an option of getting more hours? If, in other words, like overtime if they need you?
probably one, yeah. Apparently they're really short staffed right now. That's why they've hired so many people. But probably once all these
Sarah.
people are on board, you know, there won't be a lot of overtime to be had. So
Well, Sarah don't give a shit about chain of command, apparently. She said, I go over my office coordinator and go straight to the site manager.
yeah, we gotta be careful with that. No. All righty. Well,
Okay, Ron, you have a great day.
yeah, you too. I'm just gonna go over for 4 hours today. I'm gonna ride a motorcycle over. It's gonna be a nice day. And be a nice day to get out on a scooter.
Hey, go out and brush the herd a little bit, will you?
Yeah, they're spread all over the place. I got some here, there's some down by the bike, some out back. They're all over the place.
They're all
today.
waiting for you to come and give them that curry brush, you know?
Alrighty, guys. Well, everybody take
Okay,
care.
all right, Ron.
I'll see you later.
Yep,
See you later.
bye-bye.
Sarah said our office coordinator's been pissing me off by doing the bare minimum. Damn. Oh, it's funny. Oh, what you up to today, JDS? Besides in the chat causing problems.
JDS. Don't make Sarah have to come after you now.
Actually, he was talking more crap to Ron than anybody. Apparently, he's running for prime minister,
Who's that?
JDS.
Oh, is he? Cool.
Yeah.
Well, he's gotta be better than Trudeau.
Do you guys have like so like where the prime minister lives, is it kind of like the White House? You guys
Well,
have,
it's Parliament, they have residences that are where they live up on Parliament, up in Ottawa. What the hell's going on? I can hear the banging going on.
oh, Hodge is gonna be the assistant to the prime minister.
He's gonna be the press secretary.
Yep. You bet you're there, JDS. I'll promote you. When do you want to start? I remember back, I don't know, probably JDS remembers this, and you guys might remember it. Remember when they voted for no one?
Did you see what AZ put in there? GoPro cases have gone doubled. They're $179 plus $15 shipping for the Air 3. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I was, Sarah, and I was gonna annex Newfoundland.
Princess Justin.
I don't know, as much as he's pissed off everybody, I don't know if somebody with the name Justin could run up there anymore.
No offense, but you have to be French in order to run our country.
Are you French?
Not a chance. My descendants come from England.
Hold on, so if you were born in Canada, you can't run for prime minister unless you're French.
Just a joke, because
Oh,
everybody that becomes prime minister is French.
I was about to say, what kind of backwards bullshit is that?
The only person we had decent running our country was Stephen Harper, and he was from Alberta. He wasn't French. He did really good. We were in the black on the, on the economy and all that kind of stuff, which was really good, that not in the red or as far as monetary policies and all that. But
Yeah,
you go look at all the prime ministers of Canada, 90% of them were French.
Wow.
was that population just bigger in Canada, I'm assuming?
Nope. No, Ontario's probably got the biggest population. Quebec is probably next, but no.
But if, okay, so in Canada, you obviously have French. So what do you call non-French Canadians?
Francophones.
Is there more of you guys than there are of them?
Well, there's more English speaking, but the problem is in the Constitution or whatever, you like a prime minister or you're a cabinet minister, you have to be able to speak both languages.
Stupid.
Yep. Hey, look at that. JDS says now I'm bilingual.
Like if you had to speak every language that was in the US, you'd have to speak like 15, 20 different languages. Minimum. I want to say there's like, shit, what'd they say? Just in New York City alone, there's like 100 different languages that are spoken in New York City.
I don't know what it's like in the US, but any product that comes into Canada or made in Canada, got to have English and French on the packaging. Cannot just have English.
That's
Everything. But even in Ontario, there's a lot of there's some up in Northern Ontario, there's a lot of French people, but it's a little bit different dialect, where they call it.
so is there large free French speaking areas where they don't speak any English?
Oh, yeah, go to Montreal. Wow. In Montreal, there's a lot of English speaking people, but they passed by laws in there that you can't do any business in the government without being French. Like it's all got to be in French language. Like you can't even, I don't think in Quebec you can buy an English newspaper anymore. I don't think.
That's discrimination if I've ever heard it.
All the signs, highway signs, everything's got to be in French. Yeah, like they just. You used to have both, but now they. I don't know. I forget what year it was now that I was up in Massins, Quebec, up in the northern Quebec, up in the boat in the bush. But anyway, while I was up there, the week I was up there was when that bill, I don't know which number it was, came through, and corner store there, you could go and buy an English newspaper. Can't do that now.
So my question is any of the people, like, what would it be? Bill, JDS, Wayne B, right? He's in Canada. Or I take it none of them are French, right?
Yeah, it's over the French language is they're really strict in Quebec over French language.
Should be able to do whatever the hell you want to do. Like
Yeah.
at the minute here in the US, if you tried to force a certain area, say you could only do business if you spoke a certain language, that would be total discrimination, 100%. Would be considered discrimination.
Yeah, but yeah, JDS, I've seen that. Hershey back a few years ago up at Smith Falls there, they sold the plant up there to a bunch of, frickin' potheads that grow pot plants and everything else in it. So now they're not doing that great, so they're selling things off. So now Hershey bought the plant back again. I don't know if they made any money on it or not.
Are you saying hell no, you're not in Canada, or hell no, you're not French, Wayne? I was pretty if I remembered correctly, you were in Canada. If you're not, I'm sorry.
I know French people, but all they do is speak English around here. Nobody speaks French. In this town, you got more people, Islamic or whatever around here that you can't understand what they're saying. But JDS says Quebec will separate this time around next government. Wouldn't doubt it. It's funny because they, all the provinces get transfer money from Alberta because of the oil, but Quebec will not allow a pipeline through Quebec, but they want their transfer payment for their oil.
So the answer to the hell no, he's not French.
Yeah, there's that Bloc Quebec law. They call it now, something on that line. They're really hard on, for French, eh?
Now just get into a war with the French side of the country. They'll just give up anyway. They normally do in all the conflicts.
But see, the problem is you got to go from Ontario to East Coast, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, all those, Newfoundland, all that. You got to go through Quebec in order to get there. Unless you go down to the States and around.
What's up, Trevor? What's up, Mark?
Hey, Trevor. Wayne B is in the house, and Mark.
I wish I could find that damn Burger King commercial from years ago, and I still haven't been able to find it.
But it was funny. My sister Diane just got back from Sherbrooke, Quebec, for a big, the Legion had a big track and field meet for all of Canada in Sherbrooke, Quebec. And they had to take one kid to the frickin' hospital. And they went through 7 people before they found someone that could speak English enough to understand what they wanted. That was in Sherbrooke, Quebec. There's one lady had to go and do all this stuff for them, talk to other people because nobody speaks French or English. I know, like I used to deliver products into Quebec the odd time. Never had any problem. Then all of a sudden, when that one language bill come through, nobody could speak English anymore, but they spoke English before that. As soon as the bill came in, that bill 88, I think it was, or something. But all of a sudden, they couldn't speak English anymore. JDS is Quebec is never happy. Yeah, no shit. And oh yeah, don't forget JDS. I just read an article the other day. The Quebec government got a special deal on the carbon tax too. They don't pay as much as the rest of the Canadians.
I'm just saying, JDS, if you look at their history, they tend to give up very easily. So
What, the French people?
yeah.
No. They got their foot down.
No, I'm talking about if you look at past conflicts
Yeah.
over the past 100 years, they've surrendered in every war they've been in.
Yeah.
What's up, JD?
Yeah, Dumberneck. Yeah. Hey, JD, good morning. We're talking about your foreign tongue language there, JD.
JDS just went to Google Translate. Probably called me a prick or something. I can almost bet it.
Saying that, I at one time had to go to a place there and with a transport. I stopped and talked to a guy to find out, well, where do you want to go? Do you want to go to St. Laurent? No, St. Laurent or St. Laurent? I don't know. What does it say on here? Oh, you want to go to St. Laurent? What the hell? It was in Montreal, just a division of it, but it's just Oh, yours, because they're both of them were subdivisions of thing. One place, one's another. And I just thought, really, Saint Laura or Saint Laurie? Like talk English. Somebody must be using a bobcat or something around the area.
JDS.
Yeah.
Additional tech down Sun Imperial and Charlie elevator. Can I get your ED for the Black River gas station? You're right, thanks. I had the incorrect information.
I'd have to change my first name though, JD. Like I said, after he put that stain on the Justin name, I don't know if they would elect me.
Well, there's all kinds of rumors about him. I don't know. Paul, have you heard him? Some people say he's a closet gay, and some people say he's not.
Who's that?
Trudeau.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're talking about it, but it's just Republican or a conservative.
It's the haters.
Well, they do that on both sides. They make up rumors.
I guess today I should probably try and figure out, get my old butt in gear. Problem is I just can't get down to working anything.
I mean, you said, two people that are mechanics, your tenant can't figure out what's wrong with it. I mean, if he worked on cars, he
Well,
should be
he's,
able to work
he's,
on a
he's
lawnmower.
working all the time, you know?
I was gonna say, cause if he's worked on cars, he should be able to work on a basic lawnmower. That's pretty basic when it compared to working on a vehicle. Like I've watched people tear down a lawnmower motor in a matter of 20, 30 minutes, completely tear it apart. And diagnose it, fix it, and put it back together. Spend maybe a half a day doing it.
Yeah, I should, but
I've watched people tear down a lawnmower motor in a matter of 20. You got YouTube playing in the background, Paul? Murray? I can hear it.
yeah.
JDS, an idiot. Swear. Oh.
So Paul, you got to go down to the trailer today?
And actually, Sheila's going with me. I gotta pick her up
What time's that?
4 o'clock. So I might be a little late getting online or something. I don't know.
So she's
Oh, yeah.
driving back today?
Yeah, she's supposed to be back around noon today.
Oh, that was one thing Donald VW engines were known for back in the day. My uncle said you could take one off of the back of a VW and put another motor on in a matter of an hour or so. There's only a couple, I think he said it was only like, what, 3 or 4 bolts that hold it on?
Well, 4 bolts.
Yeah.
And the old Volkswagen, not the new ones. So you want to do that with the new
Oh,
one.
yeah, no, I'm talking about, he's got an old VW that's modified into like a off-road buggy.
Yeah, all you do is take about 4 bolts, pull it back a few inches and straight down underneath.
Yeah, so you could probably do that in less than an hour, huh? Switch out an entire motor.
I just got to unhook a fuel line, a wire to the coil, and throttle cable, and you're about ready to pull it. Yeah.
Honestly, that might be the best car to have in an apocalypse. You could have a whole nother engine just sitting in the trunk or in the frunk. That's what I call it, the frunk. The front end trunk.
Oh, they should charge up batteries on our drone today, and I gotta go get some groceries today too to take with me on the weekend. So
Oh, Mudball says there's actually a world record. Guy did it in just a couple minutes, in and out. They have a contest for it. So I'm saying you could have all the parts you need literally stored in the trunk of the car.
have you ever seen that video where guys come in on a Jeep? There's 4 or 5 guys ride a Jeep, come in, and they dismantle the whole thing, then turn
Uh,
and they put it right back together in a matter of minutes. It was just unbelievable. No, like an army Jeep, right?
well, that's how, you know, there was an
Content
apart,
for that.
there was an apartment on Billionaires Row where the guy had a Ferrari in his front, in his apartment on display, and that's how they got it in there. They took it apart and then rebuilt it piece by piece inside the apartment. That's how they ended up getting it in there. There's a couple people that have done that. There's a guy in Dubai that did the same thing, I think, in the Burj Khalifa. The guy's got like a showroom with a couple of cars up there, some really rare ones, and that's how they got them in there. They just tore them apart and then took them up piece by piece and rebuilt them.
I know this ain't very clear, this one, but I'll show it to you anyway. Oops, gotta make sure I hit the right button.
I can tear down a sewing machine engine, 2.4 hours.
See these guys on the vehicle here?
Yeah.
Watch this. Come to a stop.
Oh, it's a Canadians army. Yeah, all those old cars, man, everything was like pretty kind of snapped together almost. That is pretty cool though. Are they doing it during a parade, I'm assuming?
Yep, middle of a parade.
That's awesome. So that's awesome. What's up, Laura?
Take the engine right out. The transmission.
That's fucking cool.
Huh? Yeah.
But that's the way a lot of them vehicles were back in the day, or made to be fixed fast and easy. Like even the Abrams tank, you know, they use those I think they're turbines from the Chinook helicopters, and they're just like a engine pack, and they just have to disconnect a few wires and some bolts, and it literally pops out, and they can put a whole new engine in there. And I don't think it takes them more than 30 minutes to put an engine in the Abrams tank.
They're putting the radiator in. It's like, I don't know where they got the fluid from. You must have valves to shut everything off.
You can see the guy over there pissing in the radiator before they put it back in.
Yeah. Maybe they got it so that they're cool, just make it look good. I don't know.
That is pretty cool though.
Yeah, really, eh?
I mean, you could literally switch out an entire motor and transmission in a matter of minutes. If you needed to.
Yeah, they dismantled the Jeep in 4 minutes.
That's a cool little unique thing to do for a parade though. Wonder how many times they did it going down the parade route.
That was in Calgary, held during the Stampede.
The Donald posted a link.
I think we lost somebody.
Uh,
You're the host
I
now.
know. All right. No, I don't want YouTube Premium.
Folks, please.
Oh, this
welcome
is the
Steve
guy
Miller
that
and his team
does
who
the
want to
VW.
take a world title from the Germans. Welcome. Now, Steve, what's the record that you're going for, my man?
That's taking the engine out, putting it back in and driving at 5 metres.
Of not just any car.
No, the
Oh,
first
let's get to the
world
part
icon
where he
car,
takes the
favourite.
motor
You're
out.
going to take the heart out of a world famous car like a Volkswagen Beetle.
we're going to do it.
Gentlemen, are you ready?
We're ready.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Julian, Jeremy, Adrian, and Stephen are away.
Back bowl off. How you going, Jules?
Not showing a lot of love for the love boat. Straight into that engine, weighs 80 kilograms. Already it's down. Look at the pace.
All right, lads.
Fuel lines have been clamped, so there's no spillage and no danger. Past the meter mark they go. They're already into it. Well ahead of schedule.
Nice.
It's all good. 30 seconds.
Getting that 1200cc engine back into its position is the toughest job, and aligning it up so the car's able to drive away. It must bolt the engine back in.
Hey, Paul.
Push top one in, Jules.
22 million of these have been
Was
sold
he in the
around
chat
world.
or he
See
come back
why?
in?
Because they're just so easy to fix. No power tools, all hands.
Fill that. How you going, Jules?
Okay, now
Oh, okay. That's not good.
it must start up and drive off 5 metres, and it's away.
There you go.
Yeah, I
Nice.
was watching a video that's showing that Justin, he's the host now, so Paul's internet just went out. So he's trying to get back online, but he can't get the internet to connect. So I don't know. I got Paul on the line here, so
I can't even hear him talking.
who? Me?
No, Murray.
No,
Noise
he's not
canceling.
talking right now. He's trying to get
Oh.
online. But yeah, now he just all of a sudden lost internet. So
I know, right, Mark? It's like watching a Formula One pit stop.
yeah,
Exactly. That's pretty cool though.
oh yeah, how fast they can do stuff like that. Eh?
Yeah,
Well,
you
you
can-
know, back in the old days, me and a friend of mine, we could take a 283 out of a Chevy, take one out, put another one in, and have it installed and running 4 hours, like two of us. One guy work up top, one guy works down underneath.
Yeah, as long as you all know what you're doing and you're
Oh,
familiar
yeah.
with it, yeah.
But there wasn't that much. There was like exhaust pipes, couple wires, a starter wire, the throttle cable. You had, a wire on the coil. The guy underneath is doing the motor mounts, and it just boom, come right out. No time.
I've seen my uncles do that back in the day.
Oh,
They were.
oh, you're
little
back.
cars.
Okay, I'm gonna shut it off here.
All right.
I saw my uncles do that a lot back in the day. They would jump on a car, 2 or 3 of them, and they'd have a motor out really quick.
Well, it's funny. Bonnie's dad, he drove a cement truck, a block truck. But they had the 1 armed bandit for going in, grabbing the blocks and setting them on construction site. He
Uh-huh.
go get the truck, come over, and we use it to lift the motor up out of the engine, have the other one set it down, hook on to the next one, pull it in, set it in for us.
Hey, who ended up with large and in charge?
Hold on.
Him, that guy over here.
No, it puts you back as host.
I don't see me as host.
Yeah, it says you're host. It puts you automatically back as host when you log back in.
Wow.
It has me and Hodges as co-hosts. And
Like-
there's actually a reclaim button. So like sometimes when I get knocked out and I come back in and Tim's host on my show, as long as I'm logged into my Zoom, it will have a reclaim button because it knows I'm the owner of the account.
Well, when I go over
You
to
can
the,
click
to
it.
the little dots, all my choices are is to stop the live stream.
That's on yours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but what are the 3 dots say on our names? If you can stop video and all that, because if you go down to participants at the bottom and click
Yeah,
on
but
it, it says
if
your
you
host.
go just highlight down the bottom corner, it should say end instead of leave,
Yeah.
end. If it's
Yeah,
end, you're the host.
yeah. Plus you can always click on participants and it gives you a list of everybody that's on the panel and whether they're a host or not a host or co-host.
Yeah, it says Paul Murray's the host. But I can mute him if I want. Cool. I can even stop his video.
Yeah, I don't understand, like, when you make somebody a co-host, they shouldn't be able to override you on anything.
No, you
But
wouldn't.
it does give you the option to shut their video off and everything. No, JD Murray took Mia's pills again.
But it's funny because look at that ship behind Paul on the picture. It's not going nowhere. But mine, the guy's going around the corner.
Well, yeah, if you look in the middle of the screen, there's a loading.
It's got the little circle going.
Yeah, little loading wheel of death.
But mine here, I'm showing the ship going down around the corner now.
Oh, yeah, because it started doing that right away.
Oh, Mark, you can't change out a motor these days unless you got Wi-Fi.
Well, it's not that. Also, the thing is, when you change a motor nowadays, you gotta be hooked up to a computer to set it up again to that motor.
Well, that's what I'm saying is they can't really like a really modern shop these days. They can't almost function without Wi-Fi anymore. Without internet, they have to have the internet for their computers and their diagnostic tools and everything else. Because they don't just do old school diagnostics anymore. So like my uncle used to have those, like what JDS uses at the hospital, the little ear things you put in to hear people's heartbeat. But he had a long, it was like a long, rod on it. And he would use that and he would go around the motor and he'd place it on certain parts of the motor so he could hear it. And he was able to hear like if there were certain knockings or something in parts of the motor. I remember he used to do him. A couple of my uncles that were mechanics had those back in the day. Can't remember what the hell the name of them are, but JDS would know because he uses them being a nurse.
Usually you got a stethoscope with a thing with a big rod on it. You can
Yeah, stethoscope. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, that's the way they used to do it back in the day. They don't do that anymore.
no, it's all done by computer. It'll not go, okay, this is working right or
Oh,
whatever.
you are so gross, JD. He said, keep showing those legs, Murray. I haven't finished yet.
Hell, that's his underwear he's in.
Yeah, I couldn't think of the name stethoscope. Yeah.
See what it says? It comes up here. It says connect to the internet. I don't know what the hell is going on.
May have to reboot, though. Yeah, oh, somebody around here doing a lot of digging around here. Holy crap, man. I can hear equipment working.
I remember when I went to the shop the day after the last hurricane we had with my work truck to get worked on. They couldn't even do a simple oil change because they didn't have Wi-Fi. Because they couldn't pull up none of your account information, nothing like that, because everything was computerized. And I was like, Jesus Christ. Like they don't have an old school method for emergencies, you know? Of just writing something up. I remember back in the day, my dad's tow company, when they still used those credit card machines where you put the paper and the credit card in there, you'd slide it. Remember those, Murray?
Yep. I do.
Now companies can just use an app on the driver's cell phone. Take a picture of stuff, charge it, boom, you're done. Takes 2 seconds.
Yeah, those,
Yeah, we used to have those back then. Yeah, the imprints, Donald.
I can remember the old Dodge there, cars and stuff there. They used to have that ballast resistor up in the firewall of the engine. And those things there, you spin it on them if like an engine would quit or park near a mud puddle. I used to carry about 4 or 5 of them in the tow truck. I tell them car won't start. I just reach in, glove box, pull the plug up, plug it in, just let it hang there, and boom, fire right up every time. Those ballast resistors, they get a little damp, poof, up every time. That was him. Mark said that was posh. We used to use a screwdriver against our ear, yeah. Must be working over there at the back. I don't have a window back here, down here. Up here, I mean.
Yeah, a lot of the tow companies around here, they don't even write up, they don't even use paper write-ups anymore for cars. They just fill it out all on their little computer that they have or laptop, whatever they have in their truck. And then they just email you a copy of the receipt. And then if they're taking it to the dealership, they just forward it over to them or whatever garage. It has all of the car's information, owner information, all that stuff.
Oh, well, cause what they were doing, emissions testing here, and that's what they do. They go up and scan your barcode up in the windshield, like the serial number, and then some other stuff, and then they plug into the electronic system and everything else just to run the emissions test.
That's the way they do it in California. It's actually a state certified computer that they have on their premises. that
Friend of mine used to
hooks-
be a mechanic, but he had software for cars and stuff. And I think software was like he had to pay $25,000 or something. He said for the software.
Well, it's
yeah.
just like the diagnostic computers you buy now from Snap-on and Mac Tools and all those guys. Every 6 months or so, my uncle was telling me that they have updates they have to do, and you'll pay anywhere between $400 to $1,200 for an update.
Yeah.
Just for them to update the computer. I'm like, Jesus.
Well, you got it back working again, Paul.
Yep,
You had to reboot or what?
yep.
That's all I said. Those guys that run those, that do those Snap-on and Mack trucks, man, God, they make a killing. Cause they put a lot of mechanics into debt. You know, cause these guys will go there and they give them credit lines. So these guys will just fucking get every new tool that they come, whenever they come pulling up in the parking lot.
Yeah, and it's on the never, never plan.
Yeah, you'll always owe them something. My stepdad, my mom used to get pissed at him all the time because he would always have a huge bill with Snap-on. Cause he was one of those ones, he was just addicted to buying tools. Every time that Snap-on truck would come in the parking lot at work, he'd be running to it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take off. I got a sign
Okay.
to do. I got to go get groceries.
I think we'll call it for right now. Justin, we'll see you later.
Yep. See you guys later.
Hey, Paul,
Okay,
thanks for
guys,
being
yeah.
here. Justin, we'll see you the next time.
All right.
We'll see you
Bye-bye.
guys tonight. So, okay, bye.